Bonjour et bienvenue à la Martinique. Hi there and welcome to Martinique, the deep sea fishing capital of the Southern Caribbean. Moored in the marina behind me are 40 deep sea fishing boats. They've come from all over the Caribbean to participate in Martinique's 9th annual deep sea fishing tournament. A tournament that, according to all of the anglers here, is the best in the region. Well, everyone's hot to go fishing, so let's go and join the action. Colourful Caribbean flags signal the origins of the sport fishing boats whose captain and crew members are wrapped up with final adjustments to tackle and equipment. On the eve of the official start of the competition, the dockside at the marina is a hive of activity. Boats are clean, everything has to be shipshape and ready to take on 3 days of hard fishing. At dawn, the anglers leave the calm of their moorings in the Marin harbour, situated on the south side of Martinique. They take to the open sea and head for the channel between Martinique and St. Lucia. This is the best fishing ground. Everyone wants to be on the rim of a deep abyss reputed to be the hangout of the blue marlin, the most wanted fish of the tournament. There's not an idle hand on deck. Hooks have to be baited. In this instance, a mixture of live and artificial baits are used to entice the fish. This competition adheres strictly to international game fishing rules. Stiff penalties are handed out to those who land undersized fish. Small marlin are tagged with this contraption. Photographed and then released, anglers win points for all tag and releases. Lures are put out to excite the water and incite the curiosity of the marlin fish. And as the anglers wait for the thrilling sound of a screaming reel, they think back to the previous afternoon and the dockside get-together between old friends that turned into an impromptu party, or what we in the Caribbean call a free-up.
Martinique, yeah, oh yeah, very good, the best. We very much like the vie de France, the life here. It's very lovely. The hospitality of the Martinican people is tremendous. The joy of life, we love it. We keep coming back. We like it's like Trinidad, but different. We have the mix of people and the music and the drinks and the good fishing and the camaraderie amongst the people on the boats is tremendous. We like it.
Back at sea, massive sport fishing boats zigzag hopefully over marlin territory. Here we are on board Paradise, a boat out of Trinidad and Tobago. Skipper George Beauville and his crew of 6 seasoned fishermen have been fishing in these tournaments all over the Caribbean for the past 20 years. And while their pursuit of marlin fish is non-professional and primarily just for the thrill of it, the atmosphere on board this morning in the channel between St. Lucia and Martinique is strictly professional. Tell me something, Andrew, the conditions are good for a big fish today?
Conditions are excellent, the sea is nice, they have just enough chop on the waves to make the baits active. That should attract the fish, and hopefully one of them that come up to look at the baits will take one. We hope to get one in the region of 500 pounds, which will be close enough to the record.
There you have it from the expert. We're looking for the big fish today, and chances are we're going to get it. Such optimistic predictions are pretty common among anglers. Alas, the marlin at the end of this hook was too small to be landed. He had to be tagged and released. At the end of the day, nothing bigger even came close to the lines. But no one is too disappointed. It's bound to be better tomorrow. Welcome back to another day of intense deep sea fishing. The big blue is just waiting to be discovered. But before we venture out to sea, I invite you on a little tour of Martinique, a beautiful island in the middle of the Caribbean archipelago. Martinique, a 1,128 square mile island, is sandwiched in the center of the Lesser Antilles. This location, within easy reach of the Grenadines to the south and Antigua and the Virgin Islands to the north, makes it a central point for the yacht charter industry. Martinique's largest yachting marina is Marin, a well-protected bay on the south coast. Marin has been inhabited since 1660. Its stone church is one of the oldest buildings in Martinique. Indeed, it is a listed structure. However, Saint-Pierre, Martinique's first capital, was chosen by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Known as Little Paris, Saint-Pierre was totally wiped out in the 1902 eruption of Mount Pelée that killed 30,000 people. Indeed, Martinique was created thanks to a series of volcanic eruptions. These ancient volcanoes are now extinct and are covered with vegetation. Cool rivers run in old lava flow beds and spectacular foliage grows in the volcanic soil. More than 400 hectares of the island is under flower cultivation, and every year thousands of anthuriums and other tropical blooms are shipped around the world. Martinique boasts several beautiful botanical gardens, all waiting to be explored. The island is known for its rum production, said to be the finest in the world. The base of all the local rum is a sugarcane that is burnt in the fields before being harvested. This is a highly skilled technique. Too much fire and the crop is ruined. The cane is then pressed into fermented cane juice, which after aging becomes rhum agricole, a special blend that carries the prestigious AOC label, that is Appellation d'origine contrôlée, a certification given only to alcohols of the highest quality. 17 different labels of rum are produced in Martinique. And while rum is undoubtedly the most famous export, pineapples and bananas are two other agricultural crops that contribute a great deal to the island's economy. Like most Caribbean islands, the sea and the beaches are some of the most attractive assets in Martinique. A long barrier reef protects the eastern coastline, and small islands and sandy shoals are surrounded by unusually calm Atlantic waters. More than 400,000 people have the good fortune to call Martinique their home. The island is a French overseas department, and French and Creole are the two languages spoken. While the economy is mainly based on agriculture, the island's natural assets are highly attractive to tourists. Martinique boasts several excellent hotels with all the right amenities. Beach lovers will find the perfect place on the beach, while inland, the countryside has begun to open up to visitors who want a more rural experience. Sporting types are also well taken care of in Martinique. And from dawn to dusk, there's always something new to discover. A new dawn at Marin, and the organizers prepare for another day of sport fishing. Those who partied hard the night before look a little rough. The freshest faces belong to this boat, Promesse de Vie, Promise of Life, a crew of ex-alcoholics and former drug addicts who use fishing as a form of rehabilitation. Ice is delivered. Baguette is purchased. Coffee is served, and then it's time to go. The morning is so beautiful that it is difficult to imagine the day of strenuous activity ahead. But Murray Fournillier, record holder of the tournament with a marlin weighing 656 pounds, has one thing on his mind: fish.
Marlin is a fighting fish, and you want to catch the biggest one anywhere in the world. So it's great. And it takes out stress on you, it brings you out there to try to maneuver a fish, try to win the power of a marlin fish and a man. I think fishing, game fishing, and marlin fishing is really, really great. We need a lot of people to fish them a little more. Well, I think Martinique have one of the most
one of the best tournaments in the Caribbean that I ever fished. Everything is okay. You could get anything you want in this tournament.
And while Murray fishes, the crew parties. But the marlin were not impressed. No one on board Zorro, the biggest boat in the tournament, got even a little nibble. But the best way to forget about a bad day at sea is with a good fete. The organizers decided that a fashion show of ladies' lingerie was just the thing to lift the spirits of any unlucky angler. And the party continues throughout the Lay Day. On a small island off the Atlantic coast of Martinique, there's more time for a lot more conviviality, dancing and singing. But the question on everyone's mind after the last day's fishing is, who has won the tournament? While all of the catches are brought in and weighed, a spectacle that attracts hundreds of landlubbers, the scores are tabulated by computer in a back room. And this is the winning fish. A blue marlin weighing 294.5 pounds was caught by Helena Lee, a lady angler from Trinidad, participating in her first fishing tournament. However, at the prize-giving ceremony, everyone appears to be a winner. Helena Lee is admirably recompensed for her winning fish. Jean-François Fredonique, president of Martinique Sports Fishing Association, urges her to return next year, but to give the fellas a little chance. Trophies and champagne and kisses are freely distributed, and no one goes home disappointed. Team Promesse de Vie, the alcohol and drug-free fishermen, caught the most fish, and Martinique's game fishing tournament seems to have hooked some new anglers. And so we come to the end of the 9th edition of Martinique's annual deep-sea fishing tournament. Not a lot to fish, that's for sure. Nevertheless, everyone has promised to be back again next year. There's just something about this event that Caribbean fishermen don't want to miss. I've started preparing already. I'm taking fishing lessons. I plan to get the big one next time.